Welcome to Tiny Rails, the fun little game with a train. It's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since I last recorded an episode of this game, and the world has changed significantly during that time period. I am now happily self-isolating along with a large amount of the rest of the world, and I've had some time to mess around with this game on my own, so I will explain some of the things I've done. As my train comes into Boomba. Last time I recorded an episode of this game, I was doing the quests for Africa, and I've got to buy rare plasma core cargo, that's a tongue twister, from Bambari. However, because I've had some time, one of the things I've done is I have completed all the cargo requirements that are outstanding that I can complete for all the stations around the world that I can get to. So I have no cargo in my depot, no cargo on my train, and generally no need to pick up any cargo. I have also probably earned about 25 million in doing all of that and doing loops of South America, Eastern Europe, Russia East, and various other places, Japan, to pick up all the cargo I require to fulfill everything. And if I go to the map, and the last few I did were Copenhagen was one, where it wanted 1,000 candles, and Barcelona being another which wanted 1,000 candles. That took a while, as well as the salt and peanuts I needed out of Africa West for somewhere in Oceania. But I got there in the end. I earned 25 odd million, and so I upgraded as many stations as I could in Europe to try and complete Europe. Because if I go to the wonderful book, there's Europe. It's now 99, or depending if I look at this one, 98% complete, depending which one you believe. Essentially what I have left to do is there are 7 stations, I think it's 7. Yep, which, for example, Paris, which requires 2 million to upgrade it. London, the same. Berlin, Copenhagen, Monaco, Barcelona, and there's another one somewhere, Milan. And once I've upgraded those, I will have completed 100% of Europe, which means I can then try and get the money to complete Russia, which is going to require a ton more money. But to complete these last 7 stations is going to require 14 million. I don't have 14 million currently, I only have close to 4.5 million. So I can upgrade 2 of them, but that's all I can currently upgrade. So I will send my train onwards and upwards to Bambari, so I can continue with the quest. So now it's all about earning money. What's the nice thing about the joys of self-isolation and working from home, which the CEO of my company really hates having his people work from home. He begrudgingly announced that we were going to be split up into groups and we could work from home for 2-4 weeks periods, and you could tell in his voice he absolutely detested doing that. It's anathema to him to have his people work from home. But one of the joys of working from home is because of the job I do, I could actually have this running in the background and just send it on loops around various areas, or send it to various areas and forget about it for a while, come back, pick up some cargo, and then travel somewhere else. So it was kind of a nice way of continuing picking cargo up when I needed to. Alright, so let's get the rare plasma core cargo for whatever this quest is, so I can upgrade the train apparently, or create traps or something for the great train race, which will be coming up at some point. Hank, the plasma core should help keep the engines cool when we fire the nitros. Sophia, I hope so. I've only read about this in magazines. This is totally experimental. Well, if it works, you can show it off at next year's TrainCon. That would be amazing. Maybe they would write about me in Train Weekly too. Oh, nerds. Okay. So that completes Africa Chapter 3-2. And now I've got to go to Japan to buy a big battery cargo from Sendai, Japan, which is a long way away. And the easiest way to get there is by boat. And that's the nearest port. I've only got 2 ports that are pretty much equidistant. So I'll choose that one. But yeah, since I last recorded an episode, the world has certainly changed. What was considered at the time a minor problem in China, or a rather serious problem in China, but wasn't really worried about by most of the rest of the world, has suddenly turned into a pandemic that's going to wipe out a large chunk of the human population. So playing a game seems a little bit pointless, but I've got to do something to occupy my spare time. Now I don't have to commute to work. I've got an extra hour in my day, which means I actually have longer evenings. There's no sport on television at the weekends, so that's another one of my hobbies gone. It's giving me a chance to read a load of books. And we'll collect as much money as I can from the jobs I've completed. I've now got over 4.5 million. I need to replace all those jobs. Definitely with jobs I want. Truth. It's getting harder to find jobs I want to do. Any more? That will do. Yeah, back up to 10 jobs. I say I don't need anything from any of these stations. I'm just going to be delivering passengers and picking up more passengers, and collecting the money from my wonderful little food cars and entertainment cars at the front. Which, whilst it looks like quite a lot of coins when they head towards the top left, doesn't actually make me that much money. But it does pay for the cleaning and maintenance of the train. So it's the jobs and the amount of money the passengers pay me that actually is what makes me money. Now, there's got to be... okay, there's a reasonable sized gap coming up between the next station and the one that follows it. So, once I've been through the next station... in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 miles... I need to dump all the stuff that's in my train because I have no use for any of it. When I say dump it, sell it. And depart onwards. And I say I have 4.5 million. I have 7 stations that need upgrading. So I'll pick on Barcelona and Monaco. Yes, they've even cancelled the Monaco Grand Prix for the first Formula 1 Grand Prix. And Monaco, I think it was today or yesterday, for the first time since 1954, there won't be a Monaco Grand Prix. And depending which news you read and listen to and watch, you can see all sorts of wonderful, wonderful stories about what's going on in the world, including people in government who sold shares based on, theoretically, the confidential information they were briefed upon. Then they sold all the shares before the market crashed, to idiots down in Florida on spring break who won't stop all congregating together and getting drunk because they're young, so this doesn't affect them. So now I need another 10 million to finish Europe. What else is going on? Oh yes, I said all sports is cancelled. Boris Johnson is about as useful as an ashtray on a motorbike in his leadership of the British government. I couldn't possibly comment on what I think about Trump's leadership at this point. This is when you find out if these people are actually statesmen and leaders, is when they have to deal with an actual crisis. And quite a few of the world's leaders are coming up short. The Italians have taken some very drastic actions for their population, and things are not good in Italy. I have some colleagues who I communicate with every other day or so in Italy, and hopefully they're going to be okay. Well, I don't know why I went to the cargo. I have no need to go to the cargo. I have to keep reminding myself of that. I'm so used to trying to pick up cargo everywhere. I'm apparently on April the 2nd, year 14. This is episode 91, I believe. I never thought I'd get anywhere near episode 91 in this game. But if I do these wonderful quests, well, I suspect that I might finish this game by about episode 100, or reach the point where I'm stuck, unless something miraculous happens and I can become unstuck in South America. But the bug of the game, which basically has caused a roadblock, means that I can't progress currently, and I doubt I will be able, even when I finish these quests. I never expected to do 100 episodes of this game, and to be honest, even when I complete these Africa quests, and I'll just, once I've been through Africa, the next one it will open up is South America. Well, that's South America is where the blockage is, where I'm stuck, so there's not much I can do about that. I will, however, as your train does, if you let it run by itself, gain some money from passengers. If you let it just, we don't have to run the game. Your train will happily go around and collect money without you starting the game, but it does have a limit to how much money it will collect. But I can do that for this game and come back and just collect the money intermittently until I have enough money to upgrade stations in Russia. So I can always do that. So there may be an episode or two when I complete enough, collect enough money so I can upgrade and fully complete Russia and Asia. Because both of those areas have had cargo fully delivered to everywhere. I can't complete, I think there's about 3 stations in Oceania which require cargo I cannot get to, and I don't know how many stations there are in Africa that require cargo I cannot get to, but there's quite a few. So those I'll never be able to complete, and Southeast Asia for that matter, and the Middle East for that matter too. There's a few regions I will never be able to complete, assuming I can't get past the blockage in South America. But North America North, Alaska, Europe, Russia and Asia there are the 5 regions, or the 5 areas I should be able to complete. It's just going to take time and money. As my train happily goes along. I don't have really any new cars to put on it, so, and I need to make, I don't want to spend money on the gumball machine and getting cars, because as I say, I need another 10 million or 9.5 million now to complete Europe, which is going to take a while. And I'm not going to get anywhere near to the wonderful West Africa port before the end of this episode. So what else can I say? Oh, one of the things I have been doing is listening to comedy radio shows from the BBC. It's a few years old now, but that Mitchell and Webb sound is still hilarious and actually made me crack up. And there's one episode I need to send to a colleague because we have an argument, and well, I tend to wind him up, but we have an ongoing argument because he uses the term "we" when talking about his sports teams, as though he always uses the phrase "when we won the Stanley Cup," when we went out and we beat these people, and my argument is always, "Oh, really? I didn't see you out on the ice. What position do you play? Which part of the organisation are you? You." And because he's a fan of said team, he uses the inclusive "we" whenever the team does anything. And there's a wonderful sketch in season 3, episode 1 of that Mitchell and Webb sound, where they do a comedy take on somebody who does that, which cracked me up. So I've got to send that to a colleague just to wind him up a bit further, because I can't talk to him anymore. Well, I can by phone, but I can't see him anymore to wind him up. So as we're all self-isolating and working from home, I got to admit, the stupidity of all the people that went out and got masses of toilet roll were hilarious. There was a wonderful picture I saw where somebody pointed out that, yes, we will come and steal your toilet roll when you've died because you have no food in your house and you're surrounded by your toilet roll. But my sister, for one of her comedy presents at Christmas, sent me this box with these huge toilet rolls. And literally there must be about 10 times the size of a normal toilet roll. It comes with a comedy toilet roll holder as well, which I looked at and thought, okay, how the heck do I use those? But thanks to my sister, I have already got a massive toilet roll in the house, so if I run out of the normal toilet roll I use, I already have this huge box of toilet roll she sent me as a comedy gift from a few months ago. So the whole people hoarding toilet roll doesn't really affect me. But yes, when you go to a supermarket and you see that, and again, I'm trying not to be overly critical here, but American pre-packaged bread is disgusting. If you're English and eat, or European for that matter, eat bread anywhere in Europe, but England is especially I'm aware of, even the stuff that comes pre-packaged in England is far superior to any bread I've had in America. Well, I tell a lie, they can do occasionally good French roll or French loaf, but the stuff that comes in packages, the Wonder Bread and the whatever the other potato-based bread or whatever disgusting stuff they put together, is horrible. You go to a supermarket, you can't find it anyway now, because people have hoovered that up, and I'm thinking, okay, I know there's a crisis, but surely you could still have some taste. You know, buy the pita bread or the naan bread or something, but not the pre-packaged Wonder Loaves. Ugh, that stuff's disgusting. Anyway, I'll stop going on about that. That's pretty much where I'm going to end this episode as I make my way across Africa through the night on April the 2nd, year 14. Next time around I should be going in, wherever the heck it is, buying big battery cargo in Sendai, Japan. Then hopefully it'll send me somewhere where there's a port nearby, because I can get in and out of Japan via a port pretty easily. So I don't know how long it's going to be sending me around the world picking up bits of cargo for all the stuff they want to alter for the train, for the Great Train Race. But I'm guessing Africa Chapter 4 of its quest will be hopefully the Great Train Race. But I will see when I get there. And as I say, that's pretty much it. As always, I hope you enjoyed, or found it vaguely amusing, or just wanted to waste some time because you, like me, are self-isolating and you've got to do something. And so either watch terrible television, or depending where you are in the world, because there's no sports, and yes, American normal television is awful, so if you're in Europe and you've got decent television, I envy you. And hopefully I will see you down the track for more of Tiny Rails in the near future. Stay safe, have a good day, and be lucky. Cheerio!